understand something. The hatred that Jesus is talking about here is a hatred that is associated with an individual, specifically these disciples he's talking to, but he's talking about the entire church. The hatred is that because you take on the name of Christ, because you are a follower of the Lord Jesus, because you are a Christian, Christ-like disciple of the Lord Jesus, because of that people hate you because of that. That's the hatred Jesus is talking about here. Now, I point that out because of the situation, and we get that, we understand that. But sometimes in our lives, we encounter hatred, not of this caliber and not of this reason, and it has nothing to do with this, but yet sometimes we misinterpret it as hatred associated with this, but it has nothing to do with this. Are you following me? Let me explain to you. Let me give you an example. And again, this is a hypothetical situation that I just dreamed up in my head. Okay, and you'll get the point. You'll understand it. Suppose that you hire a gardener, a lawn person, to take care of your yard. Okay, you hire this person. They come in, they cut your grass. Weekly they come in, they trim your trees, they keep your shrubs all nice and neat, they keep the mulch looking fresh, they keep the leaves up in the fall time, they make your yard look immaculate, looks great, looks wonderful, do a great job. And you've agreed to pay this person $45 a week to do this. Okay, you've come to that agreement, all right? Well, all of a sudden, for about 2 months, you've not paid them. Okay? And you're into them for about $365, okay? Or about $360. So you're into them, and all of a sudden, this person's called you, they've texted you, they've emailed you, they've mailed you bills, they've left notes on your doors, they've left notes on your car, they've tried to get up with you, and you're avoiding them like the plague because you spent the money that you're supposed to be paying them on something else over here that was foolish or you didn't need or whatever the case may be, and you're avoiding them because you owe them money. All right. Well, again, this is hypothetical. This is just a scenario. Well, this person is not a believer. You know that, okay? You've been trying to witness to them and so forth and so on. And all of a sudden, one day you come home from work, and before you get your feet out of your car, here they are coming up your driveway. Hey, I need to talk to you. You owe me money. And all of a sudden, they just use some adjectives of you, like, I thought you was a Christian. All this kind of stuff, and going on and on and on and on and on, talking to you and, saying these things to you, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, all this kind of stuff, and you receive all this anger and this hatred from this person. Now, understand me. That type of hatred is not what Jesus is talking about here. That's not what he's talking about here. Why is that? Let me explain to you the difference. And again, there's a lot of different scenarios we can talk about here. The difference is that you created this of your own actions and of your own deeds. And this that you're encountering from this person is something that is your fault because you didn't pay them. You follow me? Okay? So basically, you've affected this person's wallet, you've affected their family, you've affected their business because you didn't pay them. This has absolutely nothing to do with Christ and that hatred. Okay? And I tell you that because I've been around people, believers, who everything was the devil. Everything was somebody didn't like me because I was a believer. Somebody pulled out in front of you and all this kind of stuff. Well, they got a demon and they hate me and all this kind of stuff. And, that's sad. That's sad. That's sad. That's not the case. And in particular, in the situation I'm thinking of, is this individual used this and turned everything to that direction. Well, they treated me that way because, I'm a believer. When the truth of the matter was, it was because of the actions that they did that were inappropriate and stupid that brought this about, and it had nothing to do with what Jesus is talking about here, and they tried to make themselves look super spiritual because of it. Okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's use common sense, okay? You mess up, let's go back to this hypothetical situation. And I point this out because I want us to be people of integrity. Okay? If you're in this situation here and this is you, I've described you in some way with this landscaper in some form, whatever, and that person comes up to you, you know what, at that moment, you know what you got to do to be Christ-like. As you say, brother, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I owe you money and I apologize. Yes, I'm a Christian. This is not Christ-like. This is not biblical. This is wrong. I apologize. If you'll give me a minute, I'll go get my checkbook and I'll make it right. And that's what you do, okay? But to turn it around and I'll make it to where that, it's like this person hates you because you're a believer and all that kind of stuff, because you go to church. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because you're really degrading the name of Christ and you're degrading the church. See, that's something I see in the church is we want to blame things on. Let me tell you something. God had nothing to do with it, and the devil had nothing to do with it. Okay, I'm not defending the devil, but he didn't have nothing to do with it. You did this, okay? And so the thing about this is please, if you're in that situation and you encounter hateful reactions from somebody because of something you did, own up to it and say, hey, okay, let's settle this. Let's fix this. This is my fault. This ain't got nothing to do with Christ. Period. Paragraph, okay?